When Dune Part 2 came out, the hype around it was massive. I was hearing things like best movie of the year, and this is The Empire Strikes Back for a new generation, which maybe should have been a bit of a warning sign for me because I think Empire Strikes Back is slightly overrated, to be honest. But now that I've seen the movie, I have to say it doesn't quite live up to the hype in my opinion. Don't get me wrong, this is a good movie. And there are a lot of things to love, first and foremost being the incredible visual effects which carry over from the first movie. In fact, I think this one manages to look even more awe-inspiring than the first one. The battle scenes especially are just stunning in their scope. On that visual level, this movie really is epic. There are also just some really great scenes scattered throughout the film. My favorite is probably the stretch where we cut away from the desert and we see what the Harkonnens are doing, and we meet Austin Butler's character, who ends up being a pretty good foil for Timothée Chalamet. And the scenes where we're watching this homicidal crazy guy basically rising to the top are some really awesome stuff. But that being said, the story didn't grip me as much as I was hoping. There's a kind of cold, distant quality to the whole thing that was there in the first movie and it carries over here. And I find it a bit hard to connect because of that. I think the problem might be that too much is being covered in these movies. Despite how slow-paced they can be, I can't help but feel like there are parts of the story that I'm missing. Characters that I want to spend more time with, plot points that are underserved. I'm usually the last person who would say something like this, but I actually think this story would have been better served if it was a TV series. Also, I thought this was going to be the end of the story because it's the end of Frank Herbert's original novel, but Denis Villeneuve plays this ending almost like a cliffhanger, which means that this whole movie ends up feeling like yet another setup chapter. I have a feeling I might come to appreciate this one a lot more once Dune Part 3 comes out and we get the full story, but for now, I can only speak to what I've seen, and what I've seen so far is not the kind of payoff I was hoping for. Now, after those complaints, you might be wondering if I like the movie at all, so let me reassure you that yes, I still very much do. Dune Part 2 is a spectacle of epic proportions, and I admire it for that. At times, I'm left a bit cold by its story, but I still like it quite a bit, and once again, I am super excited for the next sequel in the series. In my opinion, it's a strong 7 out of 10.